Hello farmers, Morris Mumbera again from a Neat Farm. Farmers, today we are going to talk about a basic issue that is affecting the profitability in goat farming. This is the issue of improper kid care and management. Farmers, in most cases, this is cropping from the beginning. You find that you want to start a goat farm and you don't plan for it well. You find that someone starts up a farm by constructing a pen for only the old goats, little knowing that in the near future this farmer is going to get kids. So farmers, we need to plan for the production life at our farms. So one thing is, farmers, as you construct the pens for the old goats, put into consideration the way you are going to manage the young ones. So how do you manage the young ones? These young goats should have kids' pens. So these kids' pens should be well constructed, and they should have certain features. The first feature is that the wall should not allow in cold air. Why cold air? You see, in wet season or in regions of express coldness, when you don't construct the pen for these kids well, you have issues like, because when the coldness affects this goat, for instance, the temperatures inside because it wants to normalize, it wants to increase its temperature. We find that the inside temperature increases too much, and in so doing, the goat will be stressed. And when it is stressed, these kids will not suckle, they will not enjoy themselves, they will not eat, and in so doing, they will lose weight. When they lose weight, the end result is, because they are not even eating, the end result will be dying. And once they die, you are making a loss. You are losing money. Secondly, when there is a lot of coldness in these pens, or when these young goats get cold, a lot of cold air, they will develop pneumonia, and the end of it, because these ones cannot withstand, the end of it will be death, and hence you'll be making a loss. Another feature for the pen is that it should be leak-proof. It should not allow in direct rainfall and sunshine, because also these ones will affect the life of these goats. Secondly, the pen should be spacious. It should not allow overcrowding, because when there is overcrowding, you express a lot of issues. These goats are naturally supposed to be happy. They are playful, the kids. So once you limit them, still you will bring in stress. And this mothering will again bring a lot of issues of suffocation, and at the end, the kids will be dying, hence making losses. Farmers, also the beddings should be dry. They should be turned quite often, because if they are not dry, there will be a lot of damping and accumulation of ammonia gases, and also the breeding of both internal and external parasites. So once such combination comes up in the kids' pen or in kids' management, you'll be making a lot of losses. The external parasites will drain them, the internal parasites will just work on your kids, and they will die away right away. And you'll find that you started with like 50 goats. So 1 year down the road, you will have only the old stock. And this is not business, because business, we deal in numbers. So kid management is key. So farmers, another thing where we err is when the kid is being given birth. Farmers, because you may be having many animals, you may not take care of them, you may not supervise. But the first thing, when like this goat has given birth, this goat has a nerve cord This navel cord is an entry of many bacterial infections, so you need to prevent them by treating it, cleaning this cord with iodine to prevent bacterial infections and other viral infections from entering the kid. So another thing, immediately after this kid has been given birth, make sure that this goat benefits from the first milk, which is having colostrum, and colostrum has a lot of antibodies that will give this kid the immunity to fight diseases. Once you go wrong there, you are going to affect the entire life of this kid and the production life of this kid, which is a future goat at your farm. And in most cases, you will lose it along the way because it will not be having that immunity to fight the diseases. Farmers, the first 3 days, make sure that this kid is with the mother all around. Don't take the mother away from it. It should be fed around where the kid can access it. Afterwards, you can have, in most cases, those ones who use bottle feeding, you can choose to use that, or the kid benefits directly from the mother. In the next episodes and the previous ones I have made, there's that feeding schedule that you need to follow for these kids. One, make sure that, as I've told you, the first 3 days, this kid is feeding from the first milk. And then afterwards, make sure that when the goat is going out for feeding, at least per day, it should come back and breastfeed this kid at least 4 to 5 times per day for the first 1 week. Then after that 1 week, in the second week to the third week, let it breastfeed like for 3 to 4 times a day. At 3 to 4 weeks, at least should be breastfeeding this kid 3 times per day. And then once it is growing, like in the 5th week to 6th week, 2 times per day as you reduce, and you will find that these kids, as they are growing at 1 month, they are introduced to some feeds. They will start feeding, and they are farmers. As many farms, we have specialized in their nutrition. We have come up with pellets that supplement them, that will allow them to grow, that will allow them to gain that body weight, that will allow them to get that, the feeds. You know, food, as you may know, food is also medication, so that will allow them to get that zeal, the immunity to fight diseases. So we also, and then part of nutrition, as we feed them, we look for the nutritious feeds for them that are suitable for them to grow very well. And this is what farmers should take care of. And then also these kids, as they grow, they need clean water. But in most cases, farmers, we always leave them to take any water, dirty water, and in so doing, you find that they develop a lot of worms, internal parasites. They will have diarrhea. So we need to give them clean water to prevent all these. And another thing, farmers, as you are taking care of these kids, there's no need for you to ignore them. Make healthy checks, daily healthy checks. The first check is to get, like I can demonstrate to you, is to check for the external parasites. Check from under, because if you look at it, you may think the kid is okay, but check under the fur. You will find that if like it is having them, you will find the flea is moving. So what you need to do is to get the dust, doo-doo dust, to prevent these external parasites, because these ones, you are not allowed in most cases to use the acaricides that we use on all the goats. These ones, we dust them. Then also check whether they are anemic. Check for everything, such that you supplement them with iron. You check using the eyes. And then another thing, farmers, these kids develop a lot of scars in the stomach, and they will diarrhea, and you find that the dung is stuck here. In most cases, people they don't mind about checking them. You find that the animal is clotted with the poop, and then you need to remove them to allow the flow, to unblock the canal here, to allow them to pass very well. And if you also express such, look for Acetidine as a preventive way. You administer Acetidine through the mouth as Acetidine solution, or even we have injections. You inject to prevent that the goats from deteriorating. But at first, that would be secondary. Make sure that you have a clean and dry environment for them. So as I've told you, you make among the health checks. Make sure that also, as these goats have started eating and drinking water, they stand the risk of acquiring internal parasites. You also need to deworm. Like for instance, when they are 2 months, you deworm them. And then farmers, what we need as a way of preventing them from diseases, we need to vaccinate them. We have a program. We need to plan for them, as I told you from the beginning. We need to have a program, and within this program, we must have a vaccination schedule. So at 1 month or 3 to 4, at an age of 3 to the 4th week, you need to prepare and visit a doctor or visit us, and we make sure that we vaccinate these goats against Clostridium and tetanus. So farmers, if we can follow up proper checkings and planning, we may not have losses. We may make sure that, like me, I have here 35 kids. These kids, within 5 months, they are going to grow up, and this is the profit that the return that will be coming from this farm. So we farmers, as many farms, we have a full package of kid management. We can train your workers at your farms. We can give capacity building on this, the way of having kids. This one will start also from planning. We plan with you, we journey with you. We come up with a way of synchronizing mating, whereby when these goats mate almost within the same period, you will also have a time of kidding within the same period. And when you have many kids at the same time, it is very easy for you to manage them. And this is what we are telling our farmers, and that's what we are telling you out there. Kindly come and join us in many farms as we progress and we realize businesses out of goat farming. I thank you. I remain more